In this video, we'll go over binary tree tracing. One of the easiest ways to think about binary tree tracing is to imagine that you are standing on top of a hill, and in this case, we call the very peak. Ironically, we call it the root of the binary tree, mainly because that's kind of where everything starts. So, imagine this is you, but you're not as deformed as this person, and you want to make your way around the tree. There are two ways you can go. You can go left or you can go right. The way I was taught with binary trees is that you always go counterclockwise around the tree. So just imagine this tree as a race course, and we want to make our way around the whole thing until we get to the very starting point known as here. This is going to be our little flag which says we've finished. So what we do is we pass by the left side of this node, and we don't have any access to the bottom here because we have these railings represented by these arrows. So instead, we'll keep running around, make our way down. We go down here, loop around the 5, hit the 1, loop around it, go past the 1 here, make our way to the 5, see the bottom of the 3, make our way to the 2, make our way to the 4, so forth and so forth. I'm just going to draw these arrows, and it will become self-intuitive later on in this video as to why I am drawing these arrows. Actually, if it's not self-intuitive already, I'll explain it in just a second, after I finish drawing all these pretty fancy arrows here. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty good at paint. I like to consider myself a professional. So, the way you want to think about this is we have 3 individual tracings that we have. We have pre-order tracing, we have in-order tracing, and we have post-order tracing. Yeah, I kind of screwed that up there. I almost called it OST for original soundtrack tracing. That S kind of looks like the S for Skrillex's name here. So, when we deal with pre-tracing here, we always deal with the left sides of the nodes. Don't ask me why, that's just how it is. So what we do is, we're starting here. This is our starting point at the top, and we go counterclockwise. So we see that for the pre, let me actually write it down in text. For the pre, we hit the 3 first, because we're at the top. Then we hit the 5, then the 1. Then we loop around here, and we hit the left side of the 2. Then we hit the left side of the 4, then the 6, then eventually we get back to the starting point, and once we've hit the finishing flag here, we don't want to continue any further because otherwise, we won't know when to stop unless somebody tells us, hey, you've gone too far, you've ran too many laps, or something along those lines. So, anyhow, moving on to the in-order tracing here, we always start with the bottoms of these nodes. It would have been easier if I just said but. So, anyhow, once again, we start at the very top. We do not have access to the bottom, so we make our way downtown. We don't have access to the bottom of the 5 here, even though you could think of, looping around here. That's just not how it's going to work. This is where you just got to put a little faith in the binary tree. And we loop around, and we see that we start at the 1 here. And then we loop around, we hit the 5, the bottom of the 5, then we hit the bottom of the 3. We do not see the bottom of the 2 because it is blocked off from us. An easy way to think about it is having these barriers extend from the very tops of the 2s here. We never see the top, so we might as well draw barriers there. So we get to the 2, but we don't see its bottom. So we hit the 4, we see its bottom, then we go to the 2, and we eventually see its bottom, go to the 6, see its bottom, and then we make our way back to the very top, and we stop here, because we've seen everything. We've seen some crazy shit, I guess. So, for in-order tracing, once again, going off of what we had said, is we start with the 1, go to the 5, hit the 3, then hit the 4, then the 2, then the 6. Now, let's consider the post-order tracing. It should seem self-intuitive at this point that we are actually kind of going in a counterclockwise manner here, where we started with the left, then we hit the bottom, then we should hit the right. So, just to clarify that for those of you who aren't listening, for the post order trace, we'll go along the right side here. So, starting again from the top, we do not see the right side of the 3, so we keep looping our way down here. We don't see any right sides until we hit the 1. Then we loop up, we hit the 5's right side. We do not see the right side of the 3 as we pass by, so we keep making our way around here. We see the right side of the 4, we go up, we don't see the right side of the 2 because our vision's blocked by this little wall here, even though little dashes in the wall would kind of make you assume that you could see part of it, but in reality we actually don't see it because we have terrible eyesight and we don't pay attention to these individual cracks. So we loop around, we hit the right side of the 6, then the right side of the 2, then we hit the right side of the 3 right before we hit the finish line here. And when we hit the finish line, there is actually no prize other than knowing that we have successfully traced the post-order of the binary tree itself. So once again, post order, we don't see any right sides until we hit the 1. Then we see the 5. We don't see the 3, but we do see the 4. We see the 6. Not the 36. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? Not the 36. We see the 6, and then we see the 2, and then the 3. And lo and behold, this is actually the traversal orders of these individual nodes. Unfortunately, I do not have the answers available here, but flipping through my sheets here, I can see that the answers for the pre-order are 3, 5, 1, 2, 4, and 6, which is what we have. And the in-order traversal is 1, 5, 3, 4, 2, 6, which is what we have. And then the post-order traversal is 1, 5, 4, 6, 2, 3. So it looks like we've actually done it. We have completed this. Oh, that's an ugly check mark. We have successfully traversed through this binary tree map 3 times. So there you go. That's how we do it. And once again, I kind of wish I had fancy music because I would put that song, "This Is How We Do It." But anyways, see you guys in the next